Hello and welcome to Favorite Rugby on Favorite Sports. And the Lions have just thrown away a big opportunity to go up to third, as high as third in the log of the URC, as they allow Stormers to come back and win. Credit to the Stormers for a very impressive second half performance, but very frustrating for a Lions team who, over the 60 minutes, really looked like they were going to go the distance, get a very surprising victory against the Stormers. And they played well, and they really did play well in patches, but just didn't have. I think, to be honest, they just didn't have the squad depth at the end of the day. I think the bench came on and made a massive difference for the Stormers, and the Lions, which is always going to be the issue with them, just didn't have the depth. The replacements came on, and there was just a gulf in quality between the Lions and the Stormers players. Another clubber coming on, putting some pretty clutch moments. Whereas, I think, you lost with them Alberts, you lost with Fenton, and we lost a lot of physicality from the Lions' sort of point of view. And I think also, the Lions' place in front really struggled. So frustrating, very frustrating. Final score was 31 points to 22. Before we break it down, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. It all started pretty well. Lions going 2 early penalties and going 6-0 up. And must actually started brilliantly. I mean, the Lions were all over the Stormers. They were playing fast-paced rugby. They were winning small battles. They were putting a lot of pressure under the Stormers. And then just a sloppy moment. I think that was kind of characterized by sloppy moments. Angela Davis just basically running over Kieran Horn, going over Moynihan, adding the conversion meant that despite the Lions dominating the first 10 minutes, they were actually behind. They then managed to get another a kick a goal, but what was a nice moment in the game was Jordan Henderson getting a yellow card. Not that particularly nice moment, but Moynihan adding a 3. But the Lions actually managing to score 2 penalties during that time, and actually a net 3 when they went down to 40 men. So that was like a whole different sort of mentality. The fact that they managed to manage the game quite well, which is exactly what they lacked in the second half. We then had Sunenda Humber kicking for goal, and he managed to get up to sort of 15-10. And just before half time, Henkel van Veek, the man of the moment, he had an absolute unbelievable first half, scoring a try, and it was just hard work, really. He was brought down, got up again, and played a moment to try to jump on his back, and he basically just dragged him over the line, scoring a try, and adding the extras there. So we went to halftime 22 points to 10. And we thought at halftime, you're thinking, right, 12 points, you score first, even if it's a penalty, and you're very much controlling the game. But we did see the Stormers throwing a new front row, which I think did make a difference. And then a really nice little moment, a little chip ahead over the top by Mani Liebach and Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu jumping on the end of it and going over. And I think he really needed that try. He looked like a completely different player after that try. Because we've been brutally honest, his first half was very poor, actually. He knocked the ball on about 2 or 3 times. I think he missed a couple of tackles. He really struggled to get into the game. It was the first time we had seen him look a little bit lost to this level. But after that try, it was almost like a flick. He switched to flick, flicked to switch, and looked like a much different player. Suddenly carrying the ball with a bit more confidence. He had a couple of nice kicks, sort of settled into his game a little bit more. Looked a little bit rattled in early on in the first half. But the Lions then almost went over, and frustratingly, because I'd like them to have a look in about the 67th minute. They had 2 back-to-back penalties, could have gone for poles, should have gone for poles, I reckon. 25 to 22, they would have been 25 points to 17. Had 2 good opportunities and tried 2 quick taps. I think if they had gone upstairs, I think they would have actually seen that there was probably grounding, so they actually probably could have scored another try. But immediately on the other end, Mario Slow caught sleeping. Clayton Blomke's running a brilliant line. Back on the angle, goes over. And another club going over in the 75th minute. So very, very frustrating. If you look at the stats, first half dominance by the Lions, 62% possession. But in the second half, Stormers were 61% of the possession. So it's complete opposites. Overall, the Stormers had more territory. They scored 4 tries to 1. They're getting a bonus point right towards the end there. They ran more. Lions actually had more defenders beaten. Gain line carries favor the Stormers. Same as offloads. Turnovers 1 were pretty even, as well as kicks from hand. Lions more kicks from hand than Stormers. We look at the defense, for example. Lions missing 16 tackles of 77. Stormers missing 17 of 94. It was a bit lazy. Some of the commentators were basically implying that the Lions were a team that were good with ball in hand, but very poor off it. And I think that's pretty unfair, because genuinely the defense has been pretty good for the Lions this season, and they kind of just fell apart in the last sort of 10 to 15 minutes. But goal kicking success was pretty good across the parks. And then Humber kicked well, Mani Liebach kicked well, and Jordan Henderson kicked well. Lineouts a problem for both teams. Joe Strebe just can't hit anything at the moment. PJ Boerter also really struggling, and scrums as well. The Lions really missing out on Steve Torley at the moment. They got one scrum penalty, but that reserve front row got punished. Discipline-wise, 8 penalties to 11, so not too much difference there. But yeah, so frustrating. We look at some individual performances. I thought Henk van Wyk was once again absolutely tremendous. If you look at his stats, he had one clean break. He made 7 tackles, not missing a single one. Scored a try, 44 meters gained, 3 defenders beaten. Very, very special player. If we look at, for example, someone like Clayton Blommetjies, missed a couple of tackles, but looked very dangerous. He ran 70 meters, 2 defenders beaten, 4 offloads. Very bright when he is running with the attack. Evan Roos, there's a very nice clash between Evan Roos and Ruan Venter, but Evan Roos carried 13 times, making 9 tackles, missing a tackle. Ruan Venter also making a couple of very nice carries, very physical carries. You know, he made 10 carries, made 5 tackles, didn't miss a single tackle. I think the Lions might actually have to look at putting him in the second row, to be honest, and adding some and bulking up that second row because the Lions have got loose forwards. I think the tight 5 for the Lions really struggling. The Stormers, credit to them because they lost a lot of their big players. No Kitshoff, no Hartmar Herber, for example, no Damien Willemse. They managed to get a bonus point win, and yeah, I think they were worthy victors, but I think the Lions will know that they should have won that game, could have won that game, which is the frustration. But let me know what you thought about down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.